Hi everyone, I'm Nettie Kaye. Welcome back to my studio. And benvenuti nel mio studio to all of our Italian friends that have just been put into lockdown. I know it's going to be a little bit rough. I hope you have paints or at least crayons or something to work with at home. And that is just a little lesson for all of you guys that still have access to a store, and especially an art store. Go get some paper, go get some canvas, go get some paints, whatever you need, and we'll get going together. Otherwise, you can just sit and watch me. That's all right. I don't mind. All right. So we've got a beautiful still life set up with some yellow chrysanthemums and a beautiful green pot and a lemon down here on a very silk organza type fabric. Isn't that fabulous? Yes. All right. I'm working on an ampersand painting panel today, which is a very high quality panel that you can order. Or you can also get a piece of masonite and put a coat of gesso on that if you want to use that. You know, you can paint on your wall if you own your house. Okay, whatever surface you like to paint on, you go ahead and do that. All right, I give you permission. So the first thing I have is I have toned this panel. It was white to start with. I've toned it a little darker on one side and a little lighter on the other. I've got some Viva towels. You can use a little, old underwear, socks, whatever you want, as long as it doesn't leave lint onto your canvas or your panel, all right? That's the main thing. And I'm going to dip actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to establish where our picture is going to be. We're working relatively small today, so I want to make sure that I get that placed just right and make sure I leave room for the flowers. You know, here's our flowers. They're going to kind of go up here for this flower here. I want a flower somewhere in here. I want one up in here. So I don't put my vase all the way up here and then hope the flowers are going to fit in. No, let's not get into that trouble. I've done that before where I've drawn the entire character of a person and then the feet don't fit, you know, on the bottom. So this is how we avoid that. I put the most important thing in. I know it's going to go here and here and here, and then my vase is going to fit underneath right there. And so that gives me enough space. If I want to go even higher, I can. Here's my little vase right here. And so then I'll put in, I know you can't see that very well, I'm going to put in I'm going to put it in a dark blue and then I'll erase it. But I'm going to put in a center line where my picture or my vase is going, and so that I know that I'm going to come, the top of the lip of that thing is going to go right here. And then I'll measure out from here to here. I'll decide how far out the neck of that vase is going to go, like this. Give it a little bit of a collar. It's a little jump rope on the collar. And then I decide how far down I want the thing to go. And then I'll bring out, I'll say, okay, maybe I want it to come out evenly on both sides. And I work my way out. I decide that I want to make it this fat, and so I make it maybe 2 inches there, 2 inches there. You can get your ruler out if you want. I mean, you don't have to, but and then we'll make this little picture come down like this. That's not too bad, like that. And then I want to put in my lemon, so I'll put in. I don't need to put this. Let's see. I'll put it in just a lighter color so you can see it. And we're going to put that in, I'll cover it like this. I know it overlaps, it goes down into it overlaps the vase. And I don't want it hitting the bottom. That would be really bad. I want to have room for a little bit of a frame, so I think I will make it slightly smaller and bring it up a little bit. This is the neat part. You can keep adjusting it just by rubbing the paint around and saying, okay, wait, I want to bring this out just a little bit further over here, whatever I want to do, I can do that. Put it like that. And then I'm going to take first I forgot to put the handle on my little vase. I've done that many times on this particular little pot. I forget to put the handle on. So let's go in with the handle. And so we know where the handle's going to go. I'm just doing very simple placement and drawing of our subject and just checking to see where that fits in relationship to that. Yeah, it's about this far down, and then the lemon hits right there. Okay, good. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little rag and I'm going to take out our little center mark I'm just rubbing it lightly like this so that I don't have to deal with that. That's just kind of, just was for our guideline there. And then I also want to put in the table line, and I don't want to put it halfway down. I want to make it slightly lower than half. We'll take it to right about here, and then I'm going to take it out over on this side right here. Here's our other side. I know that's kind of hard to see, but you'll see it when I start rubbing this out. It'll be very, very easy to see here pretty soon. And now our light's coming from over here. I have one direction light that's hitting this pot. And so this will be the light side of the jar. Easy to figure out. I'm going to now take a little bit of thinner. I've got it in a little tiny little can like this. I'm going to take a little thinner, dip my rag into it, and I'm going to take that and wipe out that light side right there. Now that's really serious highlight wipe out there with that thinner. It really works. And then I'm also going to take out the lights on the top of those, the lemon right there, and I'll just adjust that a little bit. We've got this lemon kind of comes out like this. I'm just going to take out the lights only. Gotta get that right again. Just hang on. You can see you can get it almost right down to the board. So that's just an interesting way to start. Then I'll take a fresh piece of that tablecloth, that paper towel, and I'm going to rub that so that it's not quite so drastic. Flip it to another clean side, do this, and then it makes this wonderful, wonderful look right there. And adjust my little lemon. I can make this have some serious highlights just by putting some of that fresh thinner on there. And this is odorless thinner that I'm working with. And so you can see I can bring it right up like that. Now, I want, let's see, this is going to have a little bit of a backlight there. And then I have a highlight that's going to be on this side of the handle. And so it just creates this incredible drama, doesn't it? It's so cool. All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about those flowers. And the flowers are very round. They're almost like, well, they're a little bit like a sphere. I think about them as though I'm painting a sphere. But I'm going to remove some of the paint on that I have used to tone the canvas, the board, by taking a little bit of thinner again. And where I want it really nice and bright, I'm going to just, now I'm going to do some little bit of commas this way to kind of shape it a little bit. It's really, really cool. In fact, there are times when I create things with this method that you just kind of want to leave as a piece of art. Can you see that? Yeah, I could see that. All right, then this flower, because it's going to be a little bit darker, I got to be careful I don't get too much. I'll just kind of take some of that and pull that off this way. I'm going to make this a little bit more round. And I can keep adjusting this for a while. And then I'll put this one in just a little bit darker by not using quite as fresh thinner. And then I want to do another one up here. So let's do another one on this side up here, like that. Now I'm going to do this one in 2 lessons, you guys. So we're going to start with just this to begin with. And I might, then the next one should come out very, very quickly. So bear with me, that this is just the first lesson doing the tonal underpainting of our still life. And then of course I'm going to now take my fingernail and I'm putting this in. Again, I'm going to take my fingernail and I'm going to do a very sharp little, let's see if I can get this. I'm going to fold it a little bit, fold it, and then I've got a stem that goes down into the jar like that, and kind of like this a little bit. And then we've got, we'll have a couple of little bits of leaves and stuff that will come out like that. Let's see where this one comes out. There's a few that just kind of overlap here and there. These are almost like oak leaves, so I'll try to get those just right. Now, you can see how that keeps the shadow right there. In fact, I'd like to put a little more of that shadow So I'm going to take some of that wet paint, put it onto my rag, and I'm going to put a little more shadow around this one because this one needs a little less zing. And now I'm going to take the highlights back in it again. One more time. All right, one more time. Just put a few little highlights and create the look of that chrysanthemum looking thing. Yes. I did a video on how to do a chrysanthemum not too long ago. You know what? It was really bad. Okay, you learn as you go, and I'm learning new things all the time. And I'm very, very happy to show you my mistakes when I do certain things. But boy, you know, it's nice when you figure it out too, I'll tell you. There we go. Now, this is the dark side of the jar, so I am now going to go back in with another bit of my paper towel. And I want to create a feeling as though the light's coming in behind this jar. So I'm going to come onto the table like that. That's serious light. Woo! Mercy. And so because I do that, and then I just kind of mute it down, I go through a lot of paper towels. Oh my goodness, do I ever. I'm going to take this and I'll rub that in. Take it, it's got to make sure it's clean. And I'll create this illusion of light as it comes across there like that. You can see I don't have to make it super light, and then I just keep rubbing the paint and then taking more out according to how light I want it. And then I might have a little bit coming across the bottom to create kind of the edge of the table or various different things. Not too much. I'll just take a little bit of the table out here. Again, I want this side being dark because I want it to show off the light of the vase and the light of the flowers. And so this is going to be a darker flower, so guess what? I'm going to make the background lighter behind it. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into the thinner. And now I'm going to come up behind here and we'll take out what's around those darker flowers a little bit that way. And you can see how the dark part of the flower or the shadow part of the flower is now kind of being shown off a little bit by taking out a little bit of light behind it. Now I don't want it to be so contrasting that it gets away from where my focus is. I like this to be, actually this is going to be more of my focus in the long run. I kind of like this part too, and so I don't want to make this as much of a contrast as these two guys right here. Okay. Now I'll play with that a little while longer and we'll come back for part 2 and we're going to put the color on and you're just going to be shocked and you'll be delighted, I hope. Okay, so hang in there everybody and think about good things, all right? Think about how wonderful, what kind of a huge chunk we're making out of global warming this week by not flying around so much. Yeah, all right. Love you guys. See you later. All right, bye-bye.